Good morning, it's Diane, and this is your Everyday Wisdom for Wednesday, February the 16th. And we're sticking with the kind of the theme of love, if you will, for the week. I kept my kissing angels and my rose quartz on my little platform here. But the theme or the message for today for A Course in Miracles is from the lesson book. And I'm going to hold the Course in Miracles book up here for you to see. I can get it back there without doing this. Okay, A Course in Miracles. And if you notice, there is a preface, a text, a workbook for students, a manual for teachers, and clarification of terms. And this is not a small book. And what we're going to be using is the workbook for students today. And the message for today is there is another way of looking at the world. And this is actually an exercise that they have you do as you work through A Course in Miracles, where you focus for 5 minutes at a time on there is another way to look at the world. And my dear friend Franny and I have had many talks about what the miracle is. And one of the miracles we believe occurs with A Course in Miracles is seeing things from a different perspective, looking at the world from another way. And sometimes looking at the world means looking at ourselves, looking at a situation, looking at another in another way. So if you have a very difficult relationship, if you're having a very difficult situation, what you do is you say, "Dear God, please show me the miracle of this situation." And what you're asking to do is to see that situation from the divine perspective. Because so often our egos get in the way and create more fear in our minds. There's a lot of internal chatter. What if, what if, what if, what if this happens? We're going to be destitute, or I could get fired over this, or I may lose a friend over this. Our ego chatters way too much. Perfect example of that is in Liz Gilbert's book, Eat, Pray, Love. And when she is trying to meditate in the ashram in India, she talks, she describes her mind chatter. That's our ego. And it keeps us from knowing our divine peace and our divine connection. So, to be able to see what the divine plan is, we ask God to show us another way of looking at the situation, another way of looking at the person involved, another way of looking at the world. So your exercise for the next week is when you are confronted with something that strikes a little fear in you, that makes you concerned, somebody that angers you or frustrates you, or a situation that comes up that is just less than what you want to deal with, ask God and the angels to show you the other way of looking at that situation. Or spend 5 minutes a day, 3 or 4 times a day, just sitting in quiet meditation, saying to yourself, there is another way of looking at the world. There is another way of looking at the world. Another message that I'm receiving, and I don't want to drag this out too long, is that there really are 2 ways to look at the world. One is through the eyeglasses of fear, and the other is through the eyeglasses of love. And so you can tell yourself that what you're actually seeing is not reality. It's reality based on the belief of fear, and that there's another way of looking at it, and that's through the reality of love, which is God's reality. And ask to be shown the reality of love. So with that, I say namaste to you, and have a wonderful and beautiful Wednesday. And I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow on Thursday, which is Smorgasbord Thursday, and we'll see what cards come up and what messages come up. Have a wonderful day.